What's going on, everybody? It's Afro Think Tank. You know, I heard this story once. I can't remember where I heard it from, right? But it was like this epic story of the old world, right? The world before this one, where there was a group of human beings who were civilized and were advanced and were one with nature. It was a beautiful time. Back when it was plentiful, these people had everything. They had developed over millions of years advanced technologies and systems of living, and they were living in abundance, and they were connected to the spirits, to the ancestors. I mean, they were in complete and simpatico with reality. And then one day, out of nowhere, I guess maybe the complacency of these great people, remember the old world, and the niceness of these old world, because they were advanced, you know, socially. Therefore, there was no need for ridiculous wars. I mean, they had conflict with each other because they were all different groups of people, but they were really one. This was the old world. And then one day, from the cold north, these demon orcs came down with their barbaric, savage technology and upended the old world, right? And then these demon, savage, barbarian orcs kidnapped these people from the old world and took them to another place. Caused all kind of problems between this otherwise advanced civilization due to the fact that they couldn't defend themselves from these ungodly, devilish weapons that they knew nothing of, right? And this group of people, they were taken, right, and transported all over the globe to develop these undeveloped people's nations and to build these orcs empires, to build these savage barbarians empires, right? To give them the illusion of advancement and technology, to give them the illusion of being civilized. But in fact, it was the uncivilized that came and get those old world civilized individuals to build the civilized world for these orcs, demon barbarians, right? And so this group of people who were separated, right, and scattered all around the world in different, what we would call tribes now, right? Different tribes, more than 12, definitely more than 12. I know there was a book that said something about 12, but this one was definitely 12. And this one can be proven to actually happen. The other one, I'm not sure if that really happened, but this one can be proven that it actually happened. And they went on a great perilous journey, you know, across seas, across lands, dying by the millions. They were being eaten by these orcs, by these savages. Their families were being destroyed. They were being raped. All manner of devilish activities was happening to these great people that came from the old world. But despite that, the people from the old world in this new world had to build it for these orcs and savages. And they did that. And they held on to that, some of their old world culture. But they didn't know it was old world because so much time has passed. They thought it was something new, because that demon barbarian had tried to detach them from it. But thank God, that old civilization still held on to what made them strong in the first place. And they fought imagine a battle for centuries, like a fight, a battle to the death of attrition for centuries, hundreds of years war of being captured, of fighting against your oppressor, of all manners of combat, whether it be direct combat, psychological combat, internal sabotage, all manner of things. But these groups of people fought. They fought and freed themselves over hundreds of years, thousands of miles away from their homeland. And now I hear that they are connecting back with the old world. And so the old world that was destroyed and more advanced than this civilization, the orc barbarian savages from the uncivilized world, you know, because the orcs, you know, are losing power, and the orcs, because nature itself, Gaia, right? Apparently the spirit of the earth decided to help the people of the old world and fight against these demons who are unnatural in nature. And at the end of this story, which I think is a continuance. I don't think all the books, this is just what I heard, right? That is based on a true story. That the people of the old world and the people of the new world who created the new world for the Ark Barbarians are now uniting. And they're going to gather together and they're going to fight back against these demon hordes. Have you seen a movie like that? Like Lord of the Rings? You know, you got the orcs and the humans and like, it's kind of like that. right? If you just look at, like, we see these movies like Avatar, you see me, like movies like that, like these people from the old world are now in the new world because they created the new world and the technologies that go along with it, but they didn't know that because while they were being subjugated and fighting, you're talking about generational war, mama fighting, grandmama fighting, daddy fighting, granddaddy fighting, great granddaddy fighting. We're talking about generational war where families have been battling and separating and jailed and subjugated and killed and eaten and terrorized by the systems, by government, by corporation, by every apparatus of these barbarian, savage, or institutions that they created because they created this magical weapon that does not require them to have to fight, but they can kill from a distance like cowards against those real warriors who require man-on-man contact, a fair one, how some people would like to say, right? So now these savage barbarians are being exposed, and I think the barbarians, they're like vampires too. They can't take the sun. So, I mean, all the movies, like you can look at movies and reference, I honestly think that they take the stories from this story. I think this is the original story, and they always make a bunch of movies based off this story. It's a great story. But it seems like the orcs and barbarians love to tell the story from their perspective all the time, but sometimes you get it from the old world people's story. But it seems like the old world, in the last thing I heard about the story was that those people from the old world, right, who were snatched away, right, from their homeland and lost everything, like almost like a whole nother planet. Not only have they successfully survived, but they're reconnected and they're going home. This is a great story. Somebody need to make a real Netflix original series, or maybe like a Odyssey about this story, because it's literally the greatest story of mankind. It's the greatest story. Like, somebody needs to write a book and put this in the book, because it sounds like it will inspire a lot of people to overcome the things that they have, in their lives, to be hearing such a great action-packed, drama-filled, dramatic horror film like that lasted over centuries. It's pretty epic. But anyway, without further ado, I want to introduce you to this. It aged very well. It's a message from the old world, right? The peoples of the old world, right, to the peoples of the new world, because they're brothers and sisters. And it's this long letter. It's a letter from the body of Africans to the body of African Americans, right? And I think the story kind of sounds like our story a little bit. And I want you to hear this story because it's going to make you tear up, right? Because right now it just seems like reality and this story is mixing. That there's some great event, some great epic, that these great epic people who've been journeying and going on this great adventure for the last 500-600 years is now coming to its conclusion, or to the end of the series where the good guy, gets the win. And I can't wait to see the final episode of that. But right now, I think we're still knee deep in the series, and I can't wait to see what happens. But anyway, I think it's important that this message that aged like fine wine, all right, that aged like a bourbon that's been sitting in a barrel for 200 years, all right, this message that needs to be respread, re-rotated, reprocessed, and regurgitated and digested as nutrients for all of us black people to hear about and to know and recognize and understand and overstand. Anyway, tell me what you think about this in the comment section. Afro Think Tank, learn some Tito. I'm out.
As you spoke. I wept as those words proceeded out of your mouth. You're right, and I understand your sentiment. I never saw you growing up, but your presence always lingered. Mommy was happy. Her joy, however, was gone. Whenever she was silent, I knew she was thinking of you. Sometimes at night, I'd hear her weeping as she prayed for you. She prayed for you to be protected. She prayed that they would treat you right. She prayed you were loved. She prayed to take all your tears so you'd not feel the pain. Without expressly saying it, our parents compare me to you. They wonder what could have been if you were still here. After every achievement of yours, they wonder if it would have been better if you were here. So even though I have never seen you, I know you. Even though I was not there when it happened, I still bear the brunt of it. I've been laughed at and teased by your new family. They say, oh, look at those people, from grace to grass. They definitely live in a shithole. They look at our family, your family, and say, this phoenix will never rise out of the ashes. Let us give them breadcrumbs. That way, they'll forever be dependent on us. Do you know what hurts me the most? They are the same people who abducted you. They took you away. Am I playing their blame game? No, I'm just stating facts. Yes, Mom and Dad should have done better. They should have protected you with their lives because you are our treasure. They should not have entertained your new family. Granted, they came in sheep's clothing, but that's no excuse. We should have sniffed the smell of wolves. I hate that we still take their breadcrumbs. We are the only family that can stand on its own without help from others. And I know that sounds obnoxious, but it is the truth. The other side of that truth, however, is that even though we have all the resources, we are still dependent on them. The neighborhood has given us a nickname. They call us the third world. We cannot get our shit together. We cannot seem to rebuild what we had. You have left an indelible scar impossible to erase. Our parents and the rest of our extended family have been trying to come to visit your family through means unfitting for humans. It is ludicrous that it is oftentimes through the same means they took you away from us. This time, however, you are taking the same route voluntarily. You ask why? We ask why. They ask why. We all don't seem to have the answer, but know for sure that there's something more than meets the eye. Isn't it interesting that even though we have the same biological parents, I do not know what to call you. You look just like me. That melanin cannot be mistaken for anything else. Our features are so similar. I feel it when you smile. Your wins are my wins. At least, that's how it feels. Even the way you dance reveals your ancestry. You dance to the rhythm of the beat. Only we can do that effortlessly. We are connected. Even if you refuse to admit it, there's something about me that draws you to me and vice versa. I do not need a 23andMe kit to know we have the same roots, but I'm at a loss as to what to call you. Sibling, friend, or stranger. I have not recovered from it, and neither have you. I am engulfed by brokenness. Something is missing. Something I lost. Something I never knew I needed until it was taken from me, stolen from me. I think about you, you know. I wonder why it happened. How could we allow this to happen? What was my quota? Did I do this to you? Did I allow this to be done to you? My own brother? My own sister? My own family? What could I have done differently? Could we have changed the narrative? Let me be honest with you. Sometimes I get mad at you for allowing yourself to be taken. I get mad at our parents because they did not fight harder. Why didn't they devise a plan and follow you? Why had they, whether subtly or in a grandiose manner, contributed to giving you away? But above all that, I get mad at myself the most. Why? Why was I not taking? I have asked myself this question more times than I am willing to admit. I know it is a silly question. You are probably wondering, how dare you ask that? Do you know what we had to go through? Do you know what we saw? Do you know the PTSD that runs through our veins? Do you know the tears we have shed, the lynching, the disgrace, the shame, the assault? Do you know what it means to be descendants of enslaved men and women? Do you know what it means to be arranged like sardines underneath a ship with no breathing space? Do you know what it feels like to be placed in dungeons where you poop, pee, and have your period all in the same room? Do you know what it feels like not to see the light of day? Do you even know what it feels like to be pitched against each other? Do you have any idea what it means to be disgusted by the color of your skin because of what it connotes to others? Do you know what it means to be part of the minority wherever you go? Do you know what it means for your future to be cut out for you from day one because the system was not created with you in mind? Do you know what it means not to be represented, for your lips, nose, hair, and skin color to be a recipe for unwarranted jokes? I wish I could say I know how it all feels, but no, I cannot. I cannot imagine your predicaments because I have not been in your shoes. They took your name. They took your identity. They took your language. They took your belongingness. And I know I'll never understand what you went through. I cannot begin to fathom what you go through on a daily basis. I cannot put myself in your shoes. I can tell you, however, that being in my shoes is not a field trip either. This is no Wakanda. Something was taken from me too. My vibranium. A part of me. You. Losing you has caused a hole in the center of our hearts that nothing can seem to fill. No matter how hard we try, and trust me, we cannot go back to what and who we used to be before your new family took you. We can go back and forth on who suffers the most and who has been through the most pain. But this is not the Oppression Olympics. How will that help us to heal and connect again? We both know you need to find your roots and be firmly attached to the soil, and I need to find my branches in order to flourish. We cannot do one without the other. We need to be willing to make amends, to heal, and to accept. I need you to know and understand that we are proud of you. You have been through a lot, but you keep pulling through. I know you want nothing to do with me. I heard you say the other day, do not call me African American. I am Black American. I've got nothing to do with Africa. I've never been there. I've never eaten their meals. I do not know the culture. There's nothing that makes me half African. I wept as you spoke. I wept as those words proceeded out of your mouth. You're right, and I understand you. There's nothing I can say that will appease you. But I am sorry. I truly am. I wish this had never happened. I wish we had remained as we were. Our own culture, our own names, our own traditions, our own way of life. I wish we were basking in our own perfect imperfections. But I also know it is what it is. How can we bridge the gap that has been created over a period of 400 years? I believe it starts when we both open our arms wide. Come back home and claim your birthright. You do not have to stay, but just come and connect to your roots. I know all your emotions will come running back to you. The sadness, the hate, the anguish, the anxiety. And when it does surface, feel it all. Do not try to stop it. Feel it all. Take it all in and release it. I'll be right here, standing by your side. You have shoulders to cry on now. Shoulders that look like yours. Shoulders that are willing to carry the weight, willing to admit their wrongs, willing to accept you, just as you are. Everyone grieves differently. If you're ready to let go, so am I. If you're not ready, that's okay. I'm still here, ready and willing to listen to you. My doors will always be wide open. You are and will always be one of us.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.